My beloved child, what you have never dared to imagine is gradually drawing near. But I want you to receive it in peace rather than in fear that a single moment of delay could cause every good thing to disappear. No genuine blessing is withdrawn simply because you did not finish watching a message. Respond immediately, or perform an action on a screen. What has been prepared for you is not so fragile that it must depend upon panic in order to survive. I do not place you beneath a countdown clock, nor do I use good fortune as a reward for obeying urgent pressure. I come to remind you that great change often begins very quietly, like light slowly spreading across the horizon without making a sound. You may not yet see the result, but that does not mean everything is standing still. The atmosphere around you may truly feel different, not because a mysterious gate is about to open at one exact minute, but because you yourself are beginning to look at life through new eyes. The things that once frightened you no longer control you as easily. The words that once wounded you no longer possess enough power to define who you are. The doors before which you once begged for permission to enter no longer attract you as they did before. This is evidence of a deep inner shift. You are not merely waiting for circumstances to change. You are being prepared to enter new circumstances with discernment, self-respect, and the ability to preserve what is entrusted to you. The greatest blessing is not always an outward event. Sometimes it is the fact that you no longer return to places that once depleted you. I know that there are prayers you offered a long time ago, and because so much time has passed, you began to believe they had been forgotten. You asked for a new road, yet repeatedly encountered paths that were closed. You longed to be recognized, yet endured seasons of being misunderstood. You prayed for relief, yet walked through days that seemed even heavier than before. However, not everything that has not yet appeared has been denied. Some answers must arrive only after you have matured enough not to trade peace for outward splendor. Some gifts must be delayed until you stop using success to prove your worth. There are also doors that can open only after you have become courageous enough to close the paths that no longer belong to you. Perhaps last night you slept in exhaustion, but do not turn every feeling, dream, or coincidence into a prophecy that must be interpreted. I do not want you to live dependent upon continual signs. I want you to build stability upon what can be cultivated each day: an upright life, a discerning mind, a heart that does not nourish bitterness, and choices that do not betray your good values. Protection is not found only in the image of a flaming sword standing before your door. It is also present when you close dangerous entrances, leave a disrespectful relationship, protect your personal information, avoid suspicious offers, and refuse to allow anyone to control you through fear. Wisdom is also a form of sacred protection. You have sometimes felt as though others stole your peace from you. Some people took advantage of your kindness. Some rose by pushing you down, and some received what you gave without appreciating it. But hear me, no one can take your name and exchange it in an unseen realm to determine your destiny. No one has the authority to buy or sell your worth. And no selfish action committed by another person can erase the good future before you. What they did may have wounded you, delayed part of your journey, or forced you to rebuild from the beginning, but it does not possess ultimate authority over your life. What was lost may be restored in another form. What was closed may lead you toward a healthier road. And what you believed was the end may become the place where a new beginning is formed. I also do not want you to spend too much time imagining that someone is secretly jealous or waiting for you to fail. Envy may truly exist in this world, but you are not called to live as though every glance contains a hidden plot. When you continually look behind you to see who is displeased with your growth, you will miss the road opening ahead. Let others be responsible for their own intentions. Your part is to prevent your heart from becoming a reflection of what hurt you. Do not use future success as a weapon to make someone regret the way they treated you. Use what you receive to build a life that is generous, kind, and useful. Genuine restoration does not make you more arrogant, it makes you more grateful. Perhaps you enjoy imagining 7 doors opening around you, but understand them as 7 invitations to maturity rather than 7 miracles descending at a hidden minute. One door may be clarity that helps you choose the right companions. Another may be the courage to say no to what exhausts you. One door may be called discipline, helping you manage your time and what you possess. Another may be healing, where you learn to look back upon the past without allowing it to continue steering your life. Another door may be an opportunity to work, study, or serve, requiring preparation rather than passive waiting. There may also be a door of forgiveness, helping you lay down the burden another person left behind. And finally, there is the door of trust, where you no longer live in the obsession that every good thing could vanish at any moment. These doors do not all close simply because you pause to think. What is right for you does not fear examination. A healthy opportunity will not pressure you to decide in panic, threaten that you will lose everything unless you act immediately, or demand that you prove your faith through a symbolic interaction. When an enormous promise is accompanied by intense pressure, step back and observe. I guide you through clarity, not compulsion. I may call you to be courageous, but I will not take away your ability to think. Good guidance makes you more alert, freer, and more responsible for your choices. Therefore, instead of waiting for one special minute when a miracle will fall from above, ask yourself which door you can open today through a practical action. Is there a call you need to make? Is there work you have postponed for too long? Is there a habit weakening your health and peace? Is there an apology that needs to be spoken, or a boundary that needs to be established? Do not underestimate small steps. A new life is rarely built through one moment alone. It is formed through many faithful choices made one after another. The miracle is not only that an opportunity appears, but that you possess enough discernment to recognize it, enough discipline to pursue it, and enough humility to use it well. I know you want compensation for the years that were lost. You want to see everything taken from you return many times over. You want justice restored, and those who once looked down on you to realize that they were wrong. But my beloved child, do not allow the desire for restoration to become an obsession with winning in front of other people. Some things, when they return, will not have their former shape. A lost relationship may not be restored, but you may receive freedom from the pain it caused. An opportunity that was taken may not return, but a more suitable road may open. Lost years cannot be recovered, but the wisdom you gained through them can prevent the next part of your life from being wasted. Multiplication is not always measured by how much you possess, but by the depth of the person you have become. Continue moving forward without announcing that every gate is opening. You do not need to convince anyone that your season has arrived. A tree bearing fruit does not need to explain that it is growing. When something truly good appears, It will be recognized through stability, peace, and lasting results. Prepare quietly. Keep your promises. Fulfill your responsibilities. And care for what is already in your hands. If you have little, manage that little faithfully. If you are waiting for new work, develop your abilities. If you desire healthy love, learn not to abandon yourself. If you pray for abundance, begin by using wisely what you already possess. My beloved child, nothing good will leave you merely because you refuse to be swept away by an urgent message. What I desire to give you does not require you to tremble in order to keep it. Release the imaginary clock counting down inside your mind. You have time to breathe, think, verify, and choose what is right. Receive change with an open heart, but do not abandon discernment. Hope without becoming blind. Be courageous without becoming reckless. And trust while continuing to live responsibly. I, Michael, do not stand beside you promising that every desire will appear within 10 minutes. I stand beside you to remind you that no season of waiting can prevent you from becoming the strong, pure, and steadfast person you were called to be. Therefore, lift your head and continue walking. What is coming does not need noise in order to prove its value. It may begin as a small idea, an ordinary meeting, a quiet decision, or a peaceful feeling leading you away from what no longer belongs to you. Recognize it by the good fruit it produces, not by promises that overwhelm you. What is genuine will not require you to lose yourself in order to possess it. What is meant for you will invite you to mature rather than turn you into a slave of the fear of missing out. And when you look back, you will understand that the greatest miracle was not 7 doors opening in 1 minute, but that you learned how to walk through each one with an awakened heart, a clear mind, and feet no longer restrained by fear. My beloved child, what many people misunderstand most is that they assume the battle still possesses its former strength simply because a memory can occasionally cause their heart to ache. But the fact that a wound still leaves a sensation does not mean it still holds authority over you. Some things have genuinely ended. Your mind simply needs more time to understand that you no longer have to live in a defensive posture. I want you to understand this through peace rather than fear. A season of rest is drawing near, not because you have done everything perfectly, but because you remained steadfast through days you once believed you could never endure. The delays you experienced are not evidence that you were forgotten. Some good things require time to arrive in the right season, in the right form. And when you have become strong enough to receive them without losing them through old habits, look back upon your journey with honesty and gentleness. There were nights when your body lay still but your mind could not rest, endlessly replaying failures, rejection, and the worst possible outcomes. You wondered whether you had enough strength to awaken the following day and continue doing what still needed to be done. There were mornings when you moved forward, not because you were overflowing with hope, but because a deep part of you still refused to surrender. You did not know where your strength came from. You only knew that another day had arrived and you were still present within it. I saw every one of those steps that appeared so small. I know there were times when you smiled so that others would feel at peace while weariness filled you within. I know you often fulfilled your responsibilities with trembling hands, kept your promises when you yourself needed support, and continued loving even when your heart felt empty. That perseverance was not merely the result of willpower. There were moments when your strength truly reached its limit. Yet an unseen support kept you from breaking apart. I did not allow those difficult years to consume the goodness within you. They may have slowed you down, caused you to doubt, and left many empty spaces. But they could not erase what I planted in you. Each time you thought you were about to collapse, yet still found one reason to rise. Something deeper was being formed. You learned how to live without needing every question to be answered immediately. You learned how to continue even when the road appeared only one small section at a time. You learned to recognize that silence does not mean I am absent. Now, some cycles have reached their end. Patterns that once carried fear from one season into another are gradually losing their power. Perhaps you grew up in an environment where anxiety was treated as normal, where everyone continually prepared for the worst and rarely allowed themselves to rest. Perhaps you became accustomed to carrying responsibilities that did not belong to you, trying to rescue everyone, reconcile every conflict, and blame yourself whenever anything went wrong. I am leading you out of that way of living. You do not need to continue carrying burdens merely because previous generations carried them. You are not required to repeat choices that caused those before you to lose their peace. Something was broken the moment you began to see it clearly. Name it honestly, and refuse to nourish it any longer. That is why your inner world has recently felt different. Old fears may still knock at the door, but they no longer enter as easily and take possession of every thought. Temptations that once pulled you back toward harmful habits no longer appeal to you as they did before. Words that were once powerful enough to ruin an entire day may now make you sad only for a moment before you regain your balance. Do not despise these small changes. Freedom rarely arrives with a loud noise. Often, it begins when you realize that what once ruled you has become only a distant echo. You still remember, but the memory no longer controls you. You still feel, but your feelings no longer determine every action. You still have difficult days, but one difficult day no longer convinces you that your whole life has failed. I know that rest may confuse you. When you have lived beneath pressure for too long, you may feel uneasy when everything begins to become peaceful. You may look around and wonder whether something is about to happen, whether this peace is real, or whether it is merely the silence before another storm. You may even believe that you do not deserve relief because you have become accustomed to paying for every good thing with exhaustion. But, my beloved child, rest is not a reward reserved only for those who have never made mistakes. It is a necessary need that allows you to recover, see clearly, and continue living in a healthy way. I do not want you to keep treating tension as evidence of responsibility or exhaustion as proof of faithfulness. When peace begins to find a place in your life, do not destroy it simply because it feels unfamiliar. Do not return to chaotic conversations merely because things have been quiet for too long. Do not search for another problem to solve simply because you do not know who you are when no one needs to be rescued. Learn to sit through an ordinary afternoon without feeling guilty. Allow yourself to sleep enough. Eat well. Walk slowly. And enjoy small things without waiting for a dramatic event before becoming grateful. This does not mean you are becoming lazy. It means you are learning to live without continually fighting an enemy that is no longer standing before you. A new chapter began the moment you decided that what once hurt you would no longer be allowed to write your future. That new chapter does not necessarily begin through loud outward change. It may begin when you awaken and no longer feel the need to check who has abandoned you. It may begin when you hear a provoking word and no longer believe you must respond. It may begin when you dare to refuse an invitation that would exhaust you, or when you stop waiting for approval from someone who has never known how to give it. Every such choice is evidence that you have passed through the place that was once used to make you lose faith in yourself. I want you to be patient with this transition. Do not demand that you immediately feel completely free simply because your mind has understood a truth. Your heart, mind, and habits all need time to enter that truth together. There will be moments when you react like your former self, and only afterward realize that you could have chosen differently. Do not condemn yourself. Growth is not a straight road. It is the process of returning more quickly to clarity after every moment of imbalance. What matters is not that nothing ever touches you, but that you no longer remain for too long in the place that once caused you to fall. Do not place your strength in an outward sign or a hurried action merely to prove that you are listening. I do not need you to do anything because you fear missing a blessing. Genuine reception begins with an honest heart, with taking time to reflect, and with allowing what is good to take root through daily choices. Keep what gives you peace, and lay down words that make you frightened, dependent, or pressured. Pure guidance does not manipulate you through fear of losing an opportunity. It makes you clearer, more responsible, and freer. Now breathe more slowly. Recognize that you are no longer standing where you once stood. You passed through days that seemed created to bring you to an end, yet they could not do so. You are still here, not completely without scars, but deeper, wiser, and more appreciative of peace. What has ended does not need to be awakened again, merely so that you can make sure it is dead. Leave it behind. Your part today is to learn how to receive rest without suspicion, joy without fear, and the future without using the past as your measure. I am leading you into a more spacious place within yourself, where you no longer have to live like someone constantly preparing for loss. Enter it with gratitude, because your story is not ending. It has only moved into a chapter that is gentler, steadier, and filled with greater hope. My beloved child, in this season, your faith is no longer measured by how intensely you continue fighting, but by whether you trust enough to step back. Loosen your tightly clenched hands and allow me to act where you cannot. For a long time, you became accustomed to believing that if you wanted help, you had to keep interfering, explaining, defending your name, and trying to correct everything others misunderstood about you. You believed that if you stopped acting, the truth would be buried. Opportunities would pass, and those who acted unjustly would win. But I want you to understand that there are battles you are called to enter, and there are also battles you can win only by removing your hands. This restraint is not failure, nor is it evidence that you are weak. It is the way I return you to your rightful place so that you will no longer carry work that was never yours. I know that waiting makes you uncomfortable. Every instinct within you wants to react quickly to slander. Explain when you are misunderstood. Pull someone back in order to receive the closure you still lack. Or force open a door you believe you deserve to enter. But, my child, not everything you are capable of doing is something you should do. Some words, when spoken in anger, will prolong a situation for many more months. Some doors, when forced open, will later become prisons. Some relationships, when held too tightly, will deepen your wound. even though all you can presently see is the fear of loss. I am not rejecting you when I allow resistance to stand in your way. Sometimes that resistance is my hand placed against your chest, gentle but firm, preventing you from rushing into a place that would cause you greater pain. Imagine someone restoring a precious work of art that has been faded by time. Its surface is so delicate that one careless touch could erase an irreplaceable detail. An observer may become impatient because the process appears too slow, assuming that wiping harder or repairing faster would return everything to its former state. But a skilled restorer knows that every layer must be treated at the right time. Every crack must be cleaned with care. And certain pauses are absolutely necessary so that the work is not destroyed by the very attempt to save it. Your life is like this now. There are things I am restoring in hidden places that you cannot force. What appears unfinished has not necessarily been forgotten. What appears slow may be carried out with a precision you cannot yet see. You have been hurt because your name was spoken inaccurately, because your story was retold through the mouths of those who did not understand the truth, and because you were absent from conversations in which others made decisions concerning you. I know that you wanted to enter those rooms, correct every detail, make everyone understand immediately, and restore the image you believed had been damaged. But truth does not require you to exhaust yourself in order to survive. An explanation offered to someone who has already chosen not to understand will only drain you further. An argument with someone who continually changes their story will not bring clarity. Sometimes, the strongest way to protect your dignity is to stop chasing every voice that mentions your name. Let your consistent life, integrity, and time speak for what you cannot prove in a single day. I also see relationships that ended without giving you clear closure. You wondered what truly happened, replayed conversations repeatedly within your mind, and searched for words you might have said differently. But not every door closes with a gentle farewell. Some people leave in silence because they are not mature enough to face the truth. Some withhold answers because they want you to continue waiting. Some are able to walk with you for only a short distance, even though you once believed they would remain for a very long time. Do not turn the absence of an explanation into a judgment against your worth. Sometimes, the lack of clarity itself becomes the final thing that helps you recognize that you cannot build peace upon someone who continually leaves you guessing while you remain still. I am not motionless. I am working in places you cannot enter through your own strength. I am arranging conversations you may never hear, causing those who need to reflect to confront what they have avoided, and softening hearts that your words could never reach. I am also closing opportunities that appear attractive but would take away your freedom, while preparing paths that do not respond to force and open only when you are truly ready. You believe you are waiting for a door, but sometimes that door is also waiting for you to mature enough to walk through without carrying your former habits. I know that you have counted the months and days that appeared to be lost. You remember every time you had to step back and every occasion when you watched others move forward while you remained in a familiar place. You saw others being recognized, celebrated, and making visible progress while your own life appeared to rest inside a long silence. But do not confuse stillness with being forgotten. Roots do not make noise while growing deep beneath the soil. Yet that hidden work determines whether the tree can remain standing when powerful winds arrive. Seasons that receive little attention are often the places where lasting strength is formed. You have not been left behind. You are being made steady so that what comes to you will not be easily taken away. What I am preparing is not merely protection from another loss. I am leading you into a restoration more complete than you have dared to imagine. But restoration does not always mean that everyone will return. Every former opportunity will be restored, or everything lost will come back exactly as it was. Some things need to be replaced rather than restored. There are relationships I will not return to you because your peace is more precious than familiarity. Some dreams will take a different shape, not because you are unworthy, but because I have seen a path more fitting for you. True vindication is not only when others admit that they were wrong, it is also when you no longer need their admission in order to move forward freely. You will be surprised to see that my protection can unfold without your participation in every detail. Some people will reveal their intentions through their own actions. Some truths will emerge without you searching for them. Some things that once opposed you will lose their strength because you no longer feed them with attention. When you stop reacting to every provocation, those who once depended upon your reaction will no longer know how to control the situation. When you stop trying to prove your worth, places that do not value you will reveal how narrow they truly are. When you stop pursuing what does not belong to you, you will have enough strength to recognize what is quietly drawing near. Therefore, allow your hands to rest. Rest does not mean that you stop living. Abandon responsibility or neglect necessary work. Rest means that you stop trying to control outcomes that are beyond your power. You can still fulfill your part with honesty, wisdom, and calmness. But do not continue trying to force others to change. Force a door to open, or force the truth to be recognized according to your preferred timing. Do what is right, and then release the result from your hands. Peace begins when you understand that you are responsible for your choices, but you are not responsible for controlling the entire story. My beloved child, this season is teaching you a deeper form of courage, the courage not to retaliate, the courage not to explain yourself to those who have closed their hearts, the courage to allow some things to end without chasing them, and the courage to believe that delay cannot steal what is truly meant for you. Step back without shame. Wait without considering yourself a failure. Allow stillness to purify your thoughts. Allow time to reveal what emotion cannot yet discern. And allow me to complete the work you cannot touch. Then one day, when you look back, you will realize that the hands held still today were precisely what protected you from damaging the restoration being carried out gently, accurately, and completely.